Hey, welcome back to the show. This is Obi-Jan, and we talk now about the latest release from Crowdin, and we will walk through with Andriy through some of these features so that's easier for you to understand what's in there. We will talk about native AI-powered QA tags, imported files by target languages. We talk about the custom dates in reports, which is very important for managers to communicate with their bosses. And we have some developer stuff in the branch merging part. And finally, we talk about the AI MT integrations of Lara. So go with me and let's dive into the details. Hey, Andrew, welcome back to the show today. Now we are talking about native AI-powered QA checks for Crowdin and Crowdin Enterprise. And we want to see how you enable them and then what we can see with the new AI feature in the interface.
Thanks. Yeah. So very simple to. It's really simple to set up things. So we go to AI section here. Then after that we create a new prompt, but I have one, so I will just open existing prompt, and here from the top we choose QA check type. After that we specify some name, we choose the provider. You can see that I use GPT-4o Mini, and then we can go into configuration. So currently I'm using default rules, but of course everyone can specify their own rules, what additional they want to track, whether it should care a lot about terminology, or probably you want to use some neutral tone in your, you want to be sure that all translations have the same tone of language, tone of voice. All of that can be specified in here. It will act very similar.
So this is like a style guide, right? PMs would sort of make sure that the style guide is well integrated in this part of the prompt.
Yes, and it's what is great here that it works on the go. So when we save a translation, within a few seconds we immediately send, because it's just one string, so it will be fast to get some ideas from AI what potentially is words to be improving, and we can see that now. So I will save my changes for our QA check, and after that we go to our project. After that we have to enable quality. Under quality assurance, that's where we have all default QA checks, but you can also enable AI-based check. It's here, just put a checkbox. And we need to know what prompt exactly you want to use, because in one project you may want to use one set of rules, but probably in a different project you have a bit different rules, probably different tone of voice. So we go to AI section in the project, and under settings, we specify that here I will use
the one we are using.
one. Yes, we can also make the one that we created, we could make it as default, so then it will be used in all projects, but I find it even more interesting if it's indeed a bit more adjusted for every project. We don't need to have 50 of them, but at least few may be handy. After that, we go to, I do have something to show you in Ukrainian, so let's go to the editor and see. We will apply. Currently, we have variables mismatch QA check applied, so we can see that our native QA check already detected that %s is missing. So that's already good, but we also, because we enabled AI QA in the project.
We find it down there.
Yeah, we have a separate item, AI powered check, and here we can see what is great here, that it provides the description. It tells you what exactly is wrong. So here it detected that I used plural form instead of, because here I indeed have camera is a singular word, but we have plural here, so it detected inconsistency. Here, it also detected that translation does not fully correspond to the source. It does not even tell us about missing QA check, but it's already visible. And if we still try to adjust translation somehow and save it, in this case, our native QA checks work. So they will guarantee that translators or proofreaders won't miss this important variable. And a few things here. So we have a native QA for detection of extra new lines, missing new lines, but it was also caught by AI. Here, it also detected that my translation does not match the context. And yeah, so it might be a great helper for proofreaders. You do human review and you already see some tips from AI.
Good. So your recommendation would be for project managers to always create this prompt, review it, add it to the project, and then have your teams use it through the filters, basically to the proofreaders. Or if you do not have a proofreader in your project, at least you as a PM, you can select it, you can filter, and then revert it to your translators if necessary.
Yes, and even without applying a filter, when you just enter the project's dashboard, system will tell you if there are any issues that are worth your attention. You can easily, with 2 clicks, you will go there, a filter will be applied, and you will see all pending QA issues.
Excellent. So this was AI QA checks of the February release. Thanks, Andriy, for explaining it, for showing it how it works and how you have to install it. Now, the feature we are talking about now is especially for managers and those who want to report what they have done on Crowdin in the last time. Before, this was a limited setting, let's say for 30 days, and now it's free. Andriy is here with me to show you a little bit how this works, how it looks like. Yeah, Andriy, please share your screen and let's have a look at this new feature.
Yes, let's see. We go to reports. In reports, you know that we have many of them, but today we are talking not about these reports, but if we scroll a bit lower, that's probably part that many users actually even miss. They don't check here, but these reports may be quite insightful. They tell you how frequently you use DM, MT, AI, so you can do some basic analysis at least of your project and understand how exactly it goes, how active it is. And when we scroll a bit lower, we can see project size, so it may be also helpful, but that is the thing that's makes a big difference.
That is new.
Now it's easier, because earlier it was only probably 30 days and 7 days. Now we have customer range. You can choose last year, so we can compare how it was last year, how it is this year. And we have multiple graphs here. Sorry, this project is not that active as you can see, but when you do proofreading on daily basis, you will see that this graph will be filled with numbers, and you will see how frequently it's being reviewed. Probably it will also give you some ideas in what languages you probably should add more proofreading resources and so on. Savings. You can see how actively this project is updated. So it may be handy for both you and for let's say for vendors. They may also use it because this way they will see how frequently client delivers new content to the project, and probably that will give them some idea. For example,
so this is a lot of new features. Sorry, what do you want to add?
That was actually it. That yes, for this source strings activity, it just tells you how many strings are added to the project, and if you see that new content is added even several times a day, then it may give you a hint that you should add probably more people to the project because it becomes larger and larger.
I think this is a fantastic tool for vendors like Beluga or for clients to better understand what is really the reality of the translation process. We have seen the different types of reports you have here, and the big difference to what it was before is that now you can put in the time range on a day, on a week, on a month, on a year, and compare data for your analysis. Okay, another new feature from this release from Crowdin will be about branch merging in Crowdin and Crowdin Enterprise. And I have here Andriy to explain us a little bit how this works and why this is different to what we had before. Andriy, please take it away.
Thank you. Yes, thing that we are going to discuss is quite technical, but for users who work with this new type of projects that we have named string-based, that may be really handy, because earlier there was a little limitation that when you have a feature branch in your project, let's create one quickly. So we have a new branch that will be based on the main, and let's create another feature to branch. So we have, we need to have to see the difference. So let's create another one. Let's reload. And now we can see that we have 3 branches in total. And earlier, every branch, of course, it will have its own unique strings. Because you are working on a new feature, this feature will have few new buttons, titles, and there will be definitely some strings here, which you will eventually want to merge into main. But sometimes it happens that when you develop one feature, you may want to merge it with another feature. Like because you work on development in steps. You develop one feature, then this feature is merged into another feature, and then this feature is merged into main. That's when new functionality becomes handy, because now it's possible to merge into any branch. Earlier it was only main, so it was a bit annoying sometimes. It felt like limitations of users had to do this offline and then push changes to Crowdin. Now you can do this efficiently online within the tool. And what is also great, that if we detect any conflicts, we will display a summary where we will tell you how, in my case, yes, we see everything is 0 because we really did not change anything. But the point here is that we will see a summary beforehand, how many strings will be added, changed, or removed. We also detect conflicts here. And this way you can understand whether it's safe to merge it or probably something should be adjusted.
Excellent. So branches are here to have a continuous localization flow. You can create a branch of new features and release it to the translation interface, as we have seen right now, what Andriy did. And now, instead of importing it to the main branch, you have the possibility to drive it to different branches. And Andriy showed it just now how it works. Let us know what it is for you, if this is useful, or what you think about the usability in the comments below. Thanks a lot. So one of the interesting parts here in this February release was the integration of Lara. This is an MT engine created by a company called translated.com, and it made some waves in the industry lately because it's AI powered. It's similar to DeepL, but let's see how this changes the workflow in, and we will see with Andriy how to select Lara for those who are interested, and how to work with Lara in Crowdin. Andriy, show us, please, how would you take it? How do we need to integrate it? Where do we find it in the editor?
Yeah, sure. So we go to Marketplace first, and we need to install Lara from here. So then we will be able to use it as MT engine. In our organization settings, we will configure API key for that. So we have all of this described in instructions. After that, If we go to machine translation, you will see Lara listed here among all of your other MT engines. We can, by default, it's available to all languages that it can support and all projects. If you wish to add some limitations, you can specify your projects in here, so it will be used only there. After that, we can also feed our existing translation memories to Lara. So that's something that it really makes it also quite different, that we can upload existing TMX that we have to this MT engine. We select the TM that we have. Here, choose create and upload. We click submit. I already did that, so I won't duplicate it. Then we go to our project. Under tools, if we will see Lara listed here, that's where we can select. So if we want or intended to use specific TM for this project, and let's say here I know that I have perfect TM here, and I want Lara to take that into consideration when it produces translations. But then when we go into our language and open the editor, we will just see suggestions from Lara in here. And it can be, of course, used this way. So manually, you can reuse these translations that it produced. You can also pre-translate specific strings we select, not via AI, but exactly via machine translation. Here we choose Lara and we hit pre-translate, and then it will provide us translations. Here we go. So we see that these few strings became translated by Lara. And yes, basically anything. If you ever used MT Engine in Crowdin, you can do the same with Lara.
Excellent. So for those who want to specify and train your engines and use Lara as a MT-powered translation, then here you had the instructions how to integrate it into your workflow. I hope you liked it, and give it a thumbs up. And comment if you have any questions about how this works or how you feel about Lara. We might cover this in another video, definitely. Thank you, Andriy, for showing it. So another thing on this release was import file for selected target languages. And Andy, please show us how this works in action on a project. What makes the difference of using this feature now?
Yes, very often you may have cases when you translate knowledge base or it's some marketing material, and you know that documents, files that you are translating are not designed for all languages. Like you can have 20 languages in your project, but you are running some promotional campaign in Spain. And why should you need Japanese translation here? So that's when it becomes handy, because you can, of course, do this earlier. Before this improvement, you had to go here to files, go to settings, languages, check languages that you don't need, and imagine that you have 20 articles like that. Too many clicks. Now it's easier because you can go, when you go to integrations, for now it's available for Storyblock and Intercom, but we do have a plan to add it to basically all other connectors very, very soon. It may happen even this month. We go to Intercom, we go to, let's say I have this sample article, and if I click sync to Crowdin, it will be by default uploaded to all languages that I have. But probably this time it's not something I want to happen. I want to select languages. So when we click this arrow, when you have this specific case, use this select target languages, and let's say I know that only German should be covered. I select it. And that's it. It's even easier than I thought.
It's already synchronizing.
Yes, when I clicked select, we can also see something new for connectors, that now we have this globe displayed in here. It indicates that this specific file has excluded target languages, because if we upload another file, we will see that this one doesn't have it. So it means it's available into all languages. But this file, we can see already that other languages are muted. I cannot even select them. If we go to sources and open Intercom folder, we can see the same. That's the thing that I mentioned, that now all languages are unchecked, so we don't have to go anywhere, and because it's already configured. Yeah, it's huge time saver, and I see big potential for this feature, especially with integrations like Zendesk, other knowledge bases, marketing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So project managers out there, if you have a campaign just for one country and you have your project set up for 10, then use this new feature. You can select it. You can synchronize only for those languages you want to have this content released. Andriy just showed us how it works. I hope you like it, and let us know in the comments how it works for you. That was cool. Thanks a lot for guiding us through the February release of Crowdin. We saw a couple of very cool features: native AI-powered QA checks, imported files for target languages. We talked about reports. We saw branching, and we saw the integration of Lara. So thanks a lot for your time and for being here with us today, and see you next month, the March release.
Thank you.
I will be heading off to Mexico now to the new Vamos Juntos conference, and we will talk about the latest in AI tools and upskilling. So if you're interested, I'm sure I will blog about that a little bit later. And see you soon in the March release, Andriy.
Yes, please share any feedback, any comments are appreciated. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.